Hello and welcome. My name is PJ, and today I'm going to be talking about the first 6 episodes of Star Trek Discovery Season 3 in, to be honest, not a lot of detail. This is not going to be a long video, but I will just give my brief thoughts on each episode so far. So the first one is That Hope Is You, Part 1. Now, mind you, there is no other episode in this season that is That Hope Is You Part 2. So, uh, I speculate that that may be the first episode of Season 4, would be the second part, but I don't know. This episode was a great introduction. It was action packed. It put Michael in a position where she had to rely on this guy Book, who turned out to be a good guy, and their adventure in that episode, and especially the scene where Michael gets high and like on the truth serum and just does that whole speech, was great. It was just fun and action packed, and it was a really good episode. Um, I like the fact that it focused on just Burnham and Book, and the Discovery crew was nowhere to be seen. And that I kind of knew going in. Frakes spilled the beans on that one, but yeah, the second episode, Far From Home, is also a good episode because it has like a, wouldn't say a Mandalorian vibe, but like that kind of sci-fi western vibe, where like they're literally walking into a bar, and we get this asshole. I forget his name because he's forgettable. Not forgettable as an actor, the actor who portrayed him, but he seems like a one and done. I almost thought like he was going to come back, and he very well could, but not in the first six episodes. A whole situation where the ship is being absorbed or crushed by the parasitic ice was interesting. So a nice little adventurous episode, and then of course Michael Burnham saves them at the end, and it turns out they're not in the year 3188; they're actually in the year 3189, and Michael Burnham has been there for a year, and it's just that the Discovery arrived, at a different time. So that was cool. How she saves the day. She is their Deus Ex Machina, I guess, at the end of that. Then we get an episode I don't like called People of Earth, with the United Earth Defense Force and that whole nonsense. And there's a part that really kind of like almost ruins the episode completely for me, is when Stamets automatically trusts this character Adira, who they don't know. She hasn't revealed the fact that she is a carrying a Trill symbiont, and that she's actually the admiral that Burnham was looking for. But even before all that, he reveals the secrets of the spore drive to her. And this is just like, this is the kind of loosey-goosey storytelling that's set on a starship in the realm of the Star Trek world. Just seems very off-putting to me. And I Adira is fine. I have no problem with her, but the episode itself, and the whole thing with the guys from the Saturn moon, Titan, and pretending to be aliens, and everything being predicated on just like pure ignorance and just stupidity. Like, why wouldn't the Earth Defense Force know that there are humans out there? All kinds of questions I have with that episode. Forget Me Not is also an episode I do not like. It's The parts on Trill are okay. I like the recreation of the the pool chamber area, whatever it's called. But I didn't like how they wasted time with the council dismissing her, and I didn't like the fact that the Discovery, before they went down there, didn't mention that, oh yeah, the Trill isn't a human person, and clearly that offended them. So like that surprise seemed forced. Like all of this stuff about the guy who's trying to stop them, and they're just trying to get to the place, and it's like I would have rather the council just said, okay, let's go to the pool, go in the pool, figure it all out. I also didn't think that Michael Burnham needed to go down there with her. I thought it would have been great to have the actor play the part of Adira in that situation and figure it out for herself, as opposed to being like so confused. And I know she's only 16, but we've already established that she's extremely intelligent, so it's just a imbalance in that character, I think, in those first 2 episodes with her. But I did find it sweet, like the whole reuniting of the past lives and kind of guiding her and stuff. So, some good, some bad, mostly things I don't like. I don't understand what they're doing with Saru yet, but I get a clearer picture in later episodes in Scavengers. But the next one is Die Trying. I really like Die Trying because you finally get to see where Starfleet is. You see a futuristic ships. You see the Voyager J. It's wondrous. It's new. We're being introduced to new characters like Admiral Vance and the security officer, and the whole thing where Michael Burnham takes command of the ship and does a great job there, and the whole other story with the having to find the seeds and that whole situation there with Nan. Some of the emotions overplayed a little too much, but I mean, very enjoyable episode. I think the best of the season so far. The second best would be Scavengers, which I have some problems with, but the main problem is the green guy who makes the guy run and blow his head off, and it's like a cheap, I don't know if it's an homage or a rip-off to The Running Man, but yeah, that's where it gets hokey and almost cartoony. And that whole industrial area, it just looked, for something that's in the year 989, it just, come on. It just looks like an Earth place with rusty ass fucking like infrastructure. It doesn't look right. I mean, I know they add like CG fucking droids and robots and stuff, which also look too primitive for the time. And the idea of slave labor in a time when even the cheapest and technology would be, like automation would be such a thing. I just don't know why you'd need slave labor. But, whatever. But I do enjoy Giorgio's conflict and the fact that something's happening to her and she's like having panic attacks and she's very vulnerable. But I really do like when she, at the end when they're flying away, she blows up the ships and they crash down, and beautiful special effects or VFX shot, and she says scavenge this, which some people say is like an homage to Worf in First Contact, saying assimilate this. So yeah, the first 6 episodes, you got 2 that I like, 2 that I don't like. Oh no, 4 that I like and 2 that I don't like. So that's pretty good. I think season 3 is like, it has to be better than the last two. Not that they were terrible, in my opinion. Some people think they were. But a lot of good, a lot of bad. Mixed bag. That's what I always say about the show. It's a mixed bag. And I don't really know what to think of it from one episode to another. Like, will I like this one? I have no idea. Unification 3 seems very promising, and a lot of people have very high hopes for that. Now, I don't know. Could be fucking amazing. Could be not so great. So we don't know. Won't get into the details on Unification 3, but that's one we're all looking forward to who watched Discovery. So, yeah. I think I've gone on long enough. This was supposed to be brief. I mean, 11 minutes is pretty good. So I'm going to end the broadcast there. Until next time, folks. Live long